Okay, Hunter Nelson, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, thanks for taking the time to join us here today. So you lost over 2,400 yards on the ground last year with Michael Carter and Javonte Williams heading off to the NFL, at least in the early part of the season, while you wait for the new guys to sort of gel at that position. Do you anticipate personal usage for you going up, whether it be through passing attempts or calling your number on the ground for yourself?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think we're going to do what we do. We're going to keep our same system. We feel really good about the guys in our running back room. You know, a lot of them had really good practice today. We haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but from what I saw out there on the field, I felt really good about what I saw from the running back room. So, there's a lot of guys that, are going to have a chance to step up this year and make some plays. And we're really not going to change anything we do. I mean, our running backs are still going to get the same amount of carries. So, I'm excited for those guys to kind of step up and excited to see what they can do.
Okay, CL Brown, go ahead.
Hi, Sam. Matt kind of talked about an ACC kickoff, but I wanted to get your take just on starting the season with the ACC foe and going on the road as opposed to maybe playing a lesser opponent, a non-conference opponent at home. How do you view, like, how much excitement does that build for you for this first game being of utmost importance?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, personally, just the past 2 years, all 3 years I've been here, we've had a pretty big opening game. With my freshman year being South Carolina, last year being Syracuse, so I think it's good to kind of play to not play a lesser opponent, just because there's kind of a sense of urgency going through camp. There's always a sense of urgency, but we're going to get tested early on, and we know that we're going to get tested week 1. We got to go play in Blacksburg. It's a hard place to play, so. And Virginia Tech's a great team. They do a good job. So, we know what the challenge is week 1. So it's kind of created a sense of urgency just around our whole entire program leading into the season. So, me personally, I like having that big game early on.
Okay, let's go to Aaron Beard, please.
Hey, Sam, you've obviously got a lot of experience in this offense. I'm curious, what are the things you work on when, you've been in this offense and you've run it, it so well, and you've had a lot of experience, just college reps in general. What are the things then you can do to refine your game?
Yeah, I think you could be more involved just from like a play calling and like game plan standpoint. You kind of know what you're calling, when you're calling it, why you're calling it. So you can be more involved in those conversations. And I think the main way you can probably improve from year to year is just knowing more about the defense. So I think that's one way where I've really improved from my first 2 years here. I have a much better understanding of how Coach Longo's system is trying to attack the defense. And once you have a really good understanding of that, then it'll lead to success on the field. So I feel really good about where I am mentally going into this year.
Okay, Brendan Marks, go ahead.
Thanks, Mark. Hey, Sam. I actually wanted to ask you about Drake and Jacoby and just sort of pick your brain on how did those two guys approach the summer? What are the things you're trying to tell them as you guys get going here? And just generally sort of what are you seeing from them in terms of their work and their progress?
Yeah, no, they've both been awesome. They both do everything that's asked of them and more. They're super fun to work with. They're always wanting to learn. They always want to watch film with me and stuff like that. So they both had good days today. The main thing I just try to tell them is, you're both going to get an opportunity, and whenever you get your opportunity, just take advantage of it. It's fun to watch those two compete. There's two super talented kids. They're two different players, but they're so talented. So it's fun. It's been fun to watch them compete, and I'm excited to watch them keep doing it.
Michael Coe, go ahead.
Hey, Sam. Obviously, a lot of high expectations coming into this season. You guys are favored in a lot of the games this year. How do you stay confident in yourselves as a team week to week without overlooking anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I think the mindset of our team, obviously we expect to win every game. That we've had that mindset ever since I got here, ever since Coach Brown got here. So I think you just got to treat every game like it's the biggest game of the year. We literally, no matter who we're playing, we don't look ahead. We treat that week like we're playing the biggest game of the year, and that's just kind of the mindset of our team. We prepare the same way for every team. No game is bigger than another. So that's just kind of our mindset.
Over to Dennis Dodd. Go ahead.
Hey, Sam, was there a point when you were growing up where you determined you had that the guts to face a rush without blinking? I'm doing a story on what it takes to face a blitz or rush and stand in there.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know about an age. I think it's just something that some people develop and some people don't. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I'd probably have to think about it a little bit. But I think it's just something that some people end up developing, some people can't develop it.
Okay, thanks.
Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, a couple of weeks ago in Charlotte, you were talking about a couple of the things that you worked on this offseason, and one of them was getting rid of the ball quicker, a little bit with your economizing your movement in order to get rid of the ball quicker. Could you sort of elaborate on that and maybe give an example of last year when you made a mistake in that area and how you believe you've actually fixed that problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think sacks in general have been a problem in the first 2 years, and when you actually look back and look at the tape, a lot of those sacks are on me. Where I think the main thing is a lot of times our running back is open and our check down is open, and I could have just dumped the ball off instead of taking a hit. So it's just me being more aware of knowing where my check down is on every single play, and as soon as I feel pressure, then I just turn and dump the ball off. So we've been trying to emphasize that. It's been something I've been trying to work on, and I think I've done a really good job of working on that in that area, because I think as an offense as a whole, we've all tried to improve that sack issue that we had, because it honestly makes our O-line look bad, and they've done a really good job in pass protection. There's been some sacks. A lot of them have been on me. A lot of them have been on the running back and tight end also as well. So I think me just doing a better job of knowing where my check down is, knowing what my answer is if we have some pressure.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, next up is Bill Bender.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I had it on mute. Jeremy will make fun of me about that. But Sam, you've been here since day one with Mac, and what's been the most impressive thing in terms of how Coach Brown has been able to maybe change the culture from coming off a 2-9 season when he got there to you guys are expected to compete for college football playoff spots now?
I think I think the main thing is that people respect him. All the players respect him, and I think what's different now is all the players are fully bought in to what he's trying to do. Everyone's just bought into his program. He knows what it takes to get to the top, and everyone knows that he knows that. So as a team, as a staff, everyone's just bought in to his message. And he's done a really good job of taking this program to where it is today, and it's only going to keep getting better. So I think he's just early on, he earned the respect of the team. And ever since then, we just kind of bought into everything he said, and he's taking us in the right direction.
Okay, let's go over to David Teal.
Sam, safe to say the 2 games you've played against Virginia Tech, the offenses have pretty much had their way. Do you have any specific recollections of that 6 overtime game in Blacksburg and the shootout last season in Chapel Hill?
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lot about it. 2 crazy games, 2 high-scoring games. The 6 overtime game was probably the craziest game I've ever been a part of. But it's always a good game between us and Virginia Tech. I think they do a really good job on both sides of the ball. So we definitely got to be prepared and definitely got to go in there and bring our A game to have a chance to win.
Okay, Adam Smith, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, to go back to some of the stuff you were talking about with Beard, with, maybe getting him more involved in the offense and maybe having more of a say in the play calling. I don't know. Is that something you've talked about with Coach Longo? How do those conversations go? Like, what have you lobbied to maybe be more involved? Like, just what's that whole dynamic all about there?
Yeah, well, I think with Coach Longo, the main thing with him, he wants you to like what we're doing. If there's one play I don't like in the offense, he gets rid of it. And I think just over the years, you just kind of earn that trust and earn that respect. My freshman year, I didn't really have much of a say at all when it came to game plan. He kind of put the game plan together and then installed it to me. I didn't really have a say of what went in there. And I was a little involved last year. a lot more involved in my freshman year than this year. Me and him talked about I'll probably be pretty involved. We'll probably sit down, do some game plan together early on in the week, and just kind of share our thoughts of what I like, what he likes, and so I think I'll definitely be more involved this year. He wants me involved as well, because I think if your quarterback's not out there confident in the plays that's being called, then you're probably not going to be very successful. So he's done a really good job just kind of being open, and he wants me to be more involved. So it's been good for us.
Okay, over to Gregory Hall.
Hey, Sam, a few times today I saw you pull receivers aside and just kind of have conversations with them, particularly one with Joffrey. Just curious what you're trying to work on with those guys and trying to accomplish early on in training camp.
I think we have a lot of really talented guys. I think we can just do a better job of the little details. That's what I think the guys are for them with Diami and Daz. They were so good at little details. There's little details about every route that we run that kind of makes it a little better, makes it easier to throw to. So just trying to, after every single route, just critique it. The best thing is those guys in that receiver room, they want to learn, they want to get better. So they've been awesome. You brought up Joffrey. He's done an unbelievable job. He's come a long ways since he first came in 2 years ago. So I'm super excited about the receiver room right now.
Mike Topper, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, just a basic question here. For the first day out there, what were your initial takeaways or biggest impressions from practice today?
Yeah, I was overall really pleased with how practice went. I thought it was a lot of energy on both sides of the ball. I love the way guys are competing. Obviously, we don't have the pads on yet, so you can't really go full speed. But I think we competed well on both sides of the ball, and that's good to see. Offensively, I feel really good. I really just want to see how the skill guys were able to develop all summer and kind of put that out there on the field. And I was overall pleased with everyone's performance today. So hopefully we'll keep getting better.
All right, we got time for two more. Ross Martin, go ahead. I don't know where Ross went. Let's go back over to Dennis Dodd.
Hey, Sam, again, I'm sure you've thought about this or been asked about it, but have you thought about the locker room effect of not only you, but other players who get paid in NIL while others don't? How you manage that dynamic?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think it's going to be as much of a problem as people really think it will be. I think we've done a really good job kind of keeping the main thing here. Obviously, we want people to take advantage of the opportunities they have, and no one's really kind of caught up in what everyone else is doing. They're kind of just focused on, when it comes to that stuff, it's kind of what they're doing for themselves. But I think the main thing is that as long as the whole team keeps the main thing, that's winning football games, we'll be all right. We've done a really good job of that so far. So, obviously it'll be a little bit of a challenge going into the season, but like I said earlier, I think we have a really mature football team. So I think that definitely helped us. We've handled stuff like that really well. So, I'm not worried about that going into the season.
Is it a situation where, like, if you're a leader and you put in the work, that's the respect you get right there?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. There's not a whole lot of jealousy in this locker room. I think people know. The people in the positions to make money have earned that. Just like people in leadership role, they earn that respect of the team, and people know. If you put the work in, you perform on the field, then you'll be in that same position. So there's not really much jealousy. If anything, they see other people doing it, and kind of motivates them to want to get better and want to get in those positions one day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll close here with looks like Greg Barnes, maybe Ross, one of the two.
Yeah, sorry about the tech issues there. Sam, your freshman year, you didn't have that many expectations. Last year, a little bit more, but you had those talented skill players. I was wondering if you're feeling any pressure this year as the guy with all the preseason awards, the Heisman candidacy. Do you feel that at all, or is it business as usual? And if you are feeling the pressure, how do you kind of handle that and process that going through the year, heading into the first game?
Yeah, obviously I see all the stuff people say, all the hype, all the expectations. But for me, I just want to be the best player I can be for my team. I try to improve on so many areas this offseason. I feel a lot better going into this season I had the past two seasons. So I feel really good about where I'm at personally. But when it comes to expectations, I just want to do everything I can to help my team win. I'm not worried about Heisman, the draft, any of that stuff. I want to lay it all out there for my team, and I think if we do a good job and win games, and the rest of that stuff will kind of take care of itself. But I wouldn't say there's any added pressure. Obviously, this season's probably a little different. People are saying a lot of things, but I think I've done a really good job, kind of my whole entire life, kind of blocking all that stuff out and focus on what's really important, and that's what people internally are saying. So that's kind of where my mindset is with all that.
And a quick follow-up: do you think the team feels pressure to kind of get you to the point where you can, win those awards and get drafted high? Do you sense any of that from your teammates wanting to kind of get you there and surround you with the talent y'all need to win?
That's a good question. I mean, I think, the guys that are going to have to step up this year probably feel like, I don't want to say pressure, there's probably a little bit of they're trying to live up to the standards that have been set by those guys that came before them. But I wouldn't say there's any pressure to help me achieve any of those things. I mean, I think everyone in this program, I think the main thing about our team is we have a selfless team, so all everyone wants to do is do their job and do their role and try to help our team win games. And I think if we keep that mindset as a team, we'll have a chance.
Great. Sam, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.